What's up, everyone? It's Alexander Love, and I'm back at you with another YouTube video. I hope you guys are ready to chill with me tonight, huh? Go ahead, sit back, get a snack, and stay tuned. Oh, and if you haven't yet, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so today what we're going to talk about is Black History Month. Now, I'm really excited to talk about Black History Month only because I have been going around since all day today, asking people what today is. I just want to see just how nationally recognized Black History Month actually is. And if people remember it like they remember Easter, or if they remember it like they remember the 4th of July. And for the most part, they don't. I've asked so many people, especially at work. I've asked my Uber driver today, like if he knew why today was so important and what today marks the beginning of. And his first comment after I asked him that was, is it somebody's birthday? No, it's Black History Month. Now, partly I'm doing that to be funny, but another part of me is doing that to really see if people actually give a fuck. And for the most part, they don't. So, I wanted to make sure I knew exactly what Black History Month was, where it came from. I know why it exists, but I didn't know who started it. I didn't know who created it. I didn't know, how it actually became a nationally recognized holiday. Out of all my years in college, out of all of the amazing, great African American people that I know, I didn't know that. I didn't know where it began and where it started. So, the way that I have been addressing it in such a funny way, just to see if people actually really gave a fuck, really kind of sparked my own interest. I found out that Black History Month is also, aka known as, African American History Month. That makes sense. I don't know why we call it Black History Month instead of African American History Month. I feel like African American History Month sounds a little bit more tasteful, I did not know that African American History Month was once Negro History Week. Negro History Week was actually started in February. It was going to be the second week in February, and it first started in 1926. So I thought that was absolutely amazing to know. It was supposed to be something that would kind of recognize and commemorate the birthdays of both Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. 2 S's, okay? Don't forget that second S. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that Frederick Douglass's birthday was February 14th. Another really big thing that I learned is that the NAACP was actually started on February 12th. A lot of these things have been around for almost 100 years. Like, the NAACP has been around for about, 113 years now. Black History Week or Black History Appreciation, whether it was a week or a month, has been around for about 96 years now. So with all this being said, why am I just now learning that? I feel like we're just always pushed and we always have the go-to greats and the go-to leaders shoved in our face every single year because it's easy just to keep shoving people the same shit instead of teaching them new things. There has been more than just Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, and all of those people Malcolm X. There's been more great people throughout history that have done things for the community that we don't talk about on the daily. So what I actually want to get into now is just who was a person to kind of lead the creation of Black History Month. Dr. Carter G. Woodson is the father of Black history. He was the second African American after W.E.B. Du Bois to receive a doctorate from Harvard. That's some big boy shit. He got a doctorate from Harvard, and this was in the 20s. 1920s, so that's huge. He's a noted historian, author, journalist. He was devoted to the preservation and celebration of African American history. Today, the evolution of Dr. Woodson's foresight allows for the recognition of contributions from not only African Americans, but Black people throughout the history of the world. Black History Month is an effort to make the people who live here more aware of the people that they live amongst. I just never really understood how one race of people could own another race of people for so many years and still have questions as to why we are the way that we are, why our characteristics are the way that we are and the way that they are, like from our hair to our shapes to everything. You've owned quotations, you have owned an entire race of people for hundreds of years and still don't understand those people. So that shows just how dumb you actually are or were, because that's just a generalization of the people who once were and the people who still think, in the same, have the same ideals as those people. Black History Month did not really officially become recognized as a holiday until like 1976. 1976, President Gerald R. Ford was the one who officially recognized Black History Month. And following that, every single year, each president recognized it as a national holiday. There's a lot of great people that live throughout our history that have done a lot of great things and paved the way for us. And I believe that if it weren't for Black History Month, there wouldn't be an opportunity to force people to really kind of slow down and consider people other than their own. And it's important for both the people that are that are Black and people of color to understand, where and what and why. And it's also important for the people who aren't to understand where, what, and why. It's supposed to be something to help bridge that gap. You shine a light into and behind the scenes of a culture that usually just gets exploited, and you represent those people. You represent the accomplishments throughout history up till now. I celebrate Black History Month as a year. I don't do just 28 days. I am always actively looking for new knowledge about myself and the people that came before me, as I am always trying to have pride in who I am. It's not limited to just 28 days for me, I need the other, let me do the math, 60, 40, what is it, 37? I need the other 200 or 337 days too. My nigga, what's my nigga name? My nigga Dr. Carter J. Woodson is that nigga. Like, shout out. If it wasn't for you, we would not have a Black History Month. Another funny thing, not funny, it's funny to me, but it's not funny. It's kind of fucked up. Frederick Douglass actually did not know. He had no idea when his birthday was. And it doesn't shock me. A lot of people had to guess how old they were. A lot of people had to guess when their birthdays were. And it's fucked up. The funny thing is that Frederick Douglass chose for his birthday to be on Valentine's Day. And I think that, I don't know exactly why he wanted his birthday to be on Valentine's Day. And I thought that was really cute because it's just the day where you celebrate love. And he was born in like 1818. He was born very much early in the 1800s. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. We're still not as far as we think we are. There's still lots of things that Black people have not had their first in. You know what I mean? Like I said, the first Black Bachelor. There's a lot of things that we have not had our firsts in. And it's not to say that we aren't good enough and that we don't have the talent, we don't have the smarts. It's just saying that a lot of times we have to make our own seats at tables. We have to create our own lanes. And that's why I think that it's important to just know the what, the why, and the when. Like I said earlier, we always get kind of shoved the same old leaders. Like it was like there were only a few people that led the movement, but it was our ancestors. I was not necessarily have a direct connection to Dr. King and my lineage, but I have other people that may have done really great things during that time. Their names just go unheard. It's crazy because out of all those protests and all those riots that went on back in the day, where our people were getting beaten, drugged, and thrown into jails, those were our ancestors. And I think that it's important that we understand that the fight is different today. It's not necessarily all of that, but the fight does continue. It's not over. It's not over for us to work towards equality in the workplace, or, you know, at colleges, on campus. It's up to us to make sure that we're seen. It's up to us to make sure that we're heard. And it's up to us to make sure that we're telling our stories the way that we want them to be told. Black History Month is important. Black History Month is definitely something that I may joke about with people. Black history is American history. That's straight up, right? Black history is American history all the way. But when you go to a predominantly white institution, the things that you learn in all of your prereqs, like in your college writing classes and your history classes, are all things that have nothing to do with the history of the people that actually helped create this country. It's all geared towards just one grouping of people. And you have to like actively search out and add classes to your schedule that are geared and that kind of cover and kind of teach you things about other cultures. I think that a step in a more positive direction for this country would be to force people to take and learn both about themselves and about other cultures. We're not pushing each other and pushing our children enough to learn about other kinds and types of people. And what that does is it keeps you in this mindset that the way that you were raised and the things that you come from are the only things that exist. And that's not true. There are many different outlooks and perspectives of, you know, existing and just being, what more specifically what being an American means, you know, and it's something different to everyone. And people wonder why we're still kind of in the same spots. Like, it hasn't really been that long since we've been freed. I think it's only been like, let me do some quick math. 1865, 35, 135. It's been 156 years, I believe, 57 years this year, Juneteenth. And that's not that long, you know, because my papa was born in 1938. And he's 84? Yeah, 84. My papa was born in 38. My grandma was born in 48. And they're 84 and 74. But their parents, you know, that's damn near early 1900s. So it's just like, a lot of this stuff, racism and just rights and equality, is still so fresh. And I think that people think just because we've had a black president and we have, you know, a biracial female vice president now, they think that means that we're equal. That does not mean we're equal. You know, I think when you look at our communities and you look at the schools that our kids go to, and you know, just the differences in opportunity and the differences in resources still, the differences in scholarships and where money and grants and funds are allocated. And not only that, but how the community of people are still being painted as, you know, whoever the gatekeepers are, they're doing a good job at keeping the stories very one-sided. There are a lot of deaths going on right now, and if you or anybody that you know is dealing with losing someone, I just want to send my prayers out to you and pray that you and your family can get through your tough times together and hopefully grow closer and just celebrate the ones that we're losing. And I'm not just talking about celebrities, I'm talking about in our families, loved ones, personal people that mean a lot to us. Yeah. The anniversary of my brother's death, his passing, is coming up very soon this month, and it will be 6 years that he's been gone. So I believe that it's crazy just how fast the time goes after you lose someone, you know? And I think I'm just trying day by day to move closer to where I would like to be, even though there's still a lot of work that I have to do. You know, my mother just lost her brother, my uncle, last Thursday. My sister lost her mother maybe about a week and a half ago. And death is something that comes to everyone's family, and it's always there. But with that being said, if it's something that's really prevalent in your life right now, just I pray for you, and I hope that you find the strength to just get through, and I don't know. But yeah, our lives are what they are today because of our ancestors, and I just think that that's why Black History Month is important. It's the time to be appreciative for the people that came before you, and to appreciate all the hard work of those people. To celebrate their accomplishments is more than just the good stuff, but also all the bad things that they had to endure for us to be able to sit in classes with people that were of a different ethnicity, and to work in the same places and live in the same places, and also hold job titles with people regardless of color. It sparked a movement of acceptance of color, the color of a person's skin, but also acceptance of many other things that would classify you as being different, whether it be gender, disability, nationality, religion. It really sparked a huge movement that really, women's rights and all of these things happened. The revolution will not be televised. The fight and the change is not going to be something that we're all going to know. It's just going to be happening simultaneously around us in different areas of the world. One person standing up is the one person that can spark a movement. And luckily, there were a lot of great individuals within my history that have stood up and done amazing things. There were people then like that, and there are people now like that. It's just the gatekeeping is fucked up and funky. The people who are controlling what we see are still putting out these stories and narratives of us and of our people that aren't positive necessarily. So, the fight goes on, bitch. The fight goes on. That being said, I have been craving some fried chicken, and I want to make this PSA. White people, you still cannot say the N-word, okay? You're not allowed. You will never be allowed. It's not, well, you used to be allowed. You used to do it all the time, but you can't do it now. Okay, so get off of it. Stop asking us why we can say it to each other, but you can't say it to us, because you're not allowed. I wouldn't trade being black for anything else in the world. I like having my skin color. I like to be in chocolate. I'm proud of the skin that I'm in. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. My name is Alexandra Love. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you have any comments or anything you want to put down at the bottom of this, make sure you do that. And remember that February is Black History Month, okay? If you don't remember anything else, remember that. Remember that February is Black History Month. Show some love. Pass out blunts. Give out free shots of Henny. Fried Chicken Fridays for 4 weeks. Bye.